Hey guys, Mad Theories here. Now, today we're going to talk about the original Super Saiyan. Now, I know there's like freaking hundreds, thousands of videos of people just say, oh yeah, the original Super Saiyan is Vegeta, the original Super Saiyan is Bardock, the original Super Saiyan it could be Goku. Hell, I would even say the original Super Saiyan will probably even be Gohan, you know? But, before I even get to that, now, like I said before, there's like thousands of and hundreds of videos, and I don't really have the time to check and see who made what or who did this and that. But I was thinking, since the whole story where he had to fight evil Saiyans and whatnot, and does anybody remember when Vegeta was talking about the original Super Saiyan? Now I was thinking, because since you had like a bunch of evil Saiyans back then at the time, it would make sense if one of them actually was the original Super Saiyan, but he was evil. The original Super Saiyan was evil, and you have two. You have the original Super Saiyan who transformed, and he was the one that had no equal in the universe at the time because he was a Super Saiyan. And then you had the original Super Saiyan God, who transformed and defeated all of the other Super Saiyans into, I guess his timer ran out or whatever, and he was probably defeated or killed. So it gives you the question. It's like, obviously everybody, we including myself, like, you know, who is the original Super Saiyan God and whatnot. But I was thinking, I was like, well, if you have like the original Super Saiyan God, because it's like we see how Goku's getting this like new transformation, and it's supposed to have the level to surpassing the gods. Now, obviously, the original Super Saiyan God had red. Like that was no doubt about it. Like he had like Super Saiyan red. So it was like obviously when he did what he needed to do, he didn't like fully master it like how Goku didn't fully master it. So he was like, you know, this power was given to me. Like I didn't like unlock this myself, because for the Super Saiyan God and whatnot, it was like he didn't have Super Saiyan. Like that was the thing. Like he never mastered or learned how to transform into a Super Saiyan. So it begs the question, who was the original Super Saiyan? If the original Super Saiyan God needed 5 people to like transform and whatnot, then what about the original Super Saiyan? It felt like he didn't need anybody to transform if he was basically evil and running around killing people and he transformed. So it makes you think, like, because there's always a war and there's always a good guy and there's always a bad guy. So it's like, could it have been like the original Super Saiyan was evil and the original Super Saiyan God had to be there and they both was fighting and clashing? Because when you seen how Goku was in his Super Saiyan form, after when his timer ran out with Beerus, he was still doing somewhat fine, even though, you know, Beerus was somewhat holding back on him, but he was doing fine and stuff until he just absorbed like that bomb that Beerus was about to do, and then that God bomb, and you know that's when he was, you know, fine. But you know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, like you had to have like one Saiyan who was evil, because it's like, sure, most of the Saiyans, like, they had tails and they didn't quite like fully understand how to go into this new power. They just went into ape forms because it was like that's the only thing that they knew. But it could have been that one Saiyan knew how to go beyond past that, and he actually transformed. Because here's the thing, people should also think, and you gotta really keep in mind, if they kind of retcon Broly and gave Kale the mantle of being like Broly, then what is to say that they're not gonna retcon the whole ape situation? Like, we haven't really seen an ape in a while, because obviously an ape is like irrelevant, you know. It's irrelevant. So it's like nobody does, they don't really care for like apes. It's like there's more gods and stuff. But it's like, if they was to somehow retcon it now, okay, we're not gonna see like a golden ape, because it's gonna bring back. Actually, they can do it. They can bring back the golden ape, but they could reference as the golden ape was the original Super Saiyan, you know, because and how when Vegeta was explaining the story in Dragon Ball Z, how the ape was golden. He was like a golden ape, even though when they took it in GT, it was like, oh, but this is Super Saiyan 4. But no, they can retcon it and change it up and be like, okay, the original Super Saiyan, he had golden, like he was like a golden ape and whatnot. But the thing is, let's just say like he transformed and he never was able to transform back. So he's just a golden ape until eventually he transformed back into whatever form he was. That will also be like a sick little twist too and whatnot, because it's like he's insanely strong as a Super Saiyan. So let's just say he was like Kale, aka Broly. You know, let's just say like the original Super Saiyan was basically as like Kale, and you would have needed a Super Saiyan God to take down something of that caliber, because it's like you got to keep in mind here, like there have probably been legendary Super Saiyans in the past. They could have been legendary Super Saiyans in the past, like thousands of years prior to Dragon Ball Z and, you know, Super, obviously, and that you would have needed something powerful, because it's like, sure, other Saiyans had, you know, tails, and due to their power level and their scaling, some Saiyans were stronger than other Saiyans and some Saiyans wasn't. So it would make sense for that one Saiyan in particular to not be as strong and needed he needed like some sort of help, because they said, okay, this Saiyan, the original Super Saiyan guy, had like a cape or something. So it's like, okay, cape. You would obviously think that, well, yeah, you know, he probably comes from Vegeta's family. Like he's probably a descendant of Vegeta's, because it's like Bardock was just a soldier. He was just a foot soldier. He didn't have any descendants or any sort of family or whatever. He was just a foot soldier. And the Vegeta you know, bloodline, they you know, they was royal, so obviously it would make sense for them to have like some sort of Super Saiyan god or some sort of family lineage. I mean, it would piss off Vegeta even more to find out this is true, and Goku was the one who transformed first before him. It would sting a little bit, but I believe Vegeta's kind of like past the whole Kakarot surpassing me type thing. He just sit there and be like, yeah, I'm gonna catch up to Kakarot. Oh, he surpassed me. Kakarot, I will catch up to you. And that's all it's always been. Because it's like we never gonna see a heel Vegeta ever again. His margin days is over. But yeah, it's like, you know, and then I was thinking, like, the reason why I thought of Gohan, because I was like, well, yeah, Gohan technically had a cape, even though it doesn't really count because he did the whole Great Saiyan Man thing. So I was like, oh, well, you know, it could have probably would have been, I don't know, maybe Gohan's ancestor, or it could have been, you know, somebody in that lineage that could have just said, well, you know, you have like this insane amount of power, you need help, so you borrowed it from other people and then you transform. But then it's like, no, because it doesn't really make any sense. So I'll probably go with what other people probably would be suspecting and thinking, that it could be in Vegeta's family. It'd probably be somewhere in Vegeta's family, or Freak that. It might be just a brand spanking new type of Saiyan we never seen, we never met before, and he's like the true and original Super Saiyan God. Because if it's from the Vegeta family, it would be sick, but then I feel like it would be sick, but it's like, no, I want it to be something completely different. Something completely different that is just a brand new spanking character. But I feel like they could have been two things, like the original Super Saiyan and then the Super Saiyan God, the original Super Saiyan God. Because I mean, some people feel like, oh, it's kind of stupid, because why would there be two? You have like an original Super Saiyan, why can't he be both? Why couldn't he be the original Super Saiyan and the original Super Saiyan God? And it's like, I thought about it and I was like, yeah, it could be like he was the original Super Saiyan and whatnot. But if you think about it, if you truly think about it, if he was the original Super Saiyan, why would he need to go God? Why would he need to go God? Because being a Super Saiyan would have been, well, a lot to take down apes and any other Super Saiyan that would have crossed his path. He would have never needed God. So this is why I believe that there have been two. There's the original Super Saiyan and the original Super Saiyan God. Because the Super Saiyan God had to take down the original Super Saiyan, because being innate wasn't enough. Having your tail, like all of that, it wasn't enough, because back then being a Super Saiyan was a big deal. And if he was legendary, even bigger. So obviously he needed God to possibly take down the original Super Saiyan. This is why I said it makes sense. When you're truly thinking about it, it makes sense, because it's like, I feel that we're not really done with the whole Saiyan arc we're not really done with it, because like I said before, when Planet Vegeta exploded, obviously there was more other Saiyans out there who probably wasn't on Planet Vegeta, and they was out doing some other things and whatnot. But there is hints and clues that there could possibility be, even though we all want it to be Bardock. Some people want it to be in the Vegeta clan, some people want it to be completely different, you know, or it's a reincarnation of Goku, or a reincarnation of Vegeta, or whoever. You know, this is what people want, but I personally want it to be just completely different. So, I mean, it'd be cool, like I said, if it was Vegeta, but I just want it to be, I want it to be very, you know, different, you know, because different is nice. Different is nice. But, yeah, if you like what you heard, and you heard what you like, please subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff.